Hi, this is Pete Andresen with Andresen & Associates, and I'm here to talk about the Standard & Poor's 500 Index today. I'm dressed like this because once a month I dress up, drag my family down here, and we teach history and live history for people who want to learn more about the past. And the Standard & Poor's 500, one of the most modern things right now, something that's dominating the stock market, actually has a very ancient history. It all starts with Henry Varnum Poor in the year 1860, who ran a railroad investing journal. And back then, high tech was railroads. That was where the cutting edge of society was. And people wanted to know more about railroads. Actually, there were several railroad bubbles that were incredibly big booms and incredibly destructive. So Henry Varnum Poor's idea was to deliver investment advice. Picture that all being done manually. Meanwhile, the Standard Statistics Company was formed in 1923, and their thing was to create an index of 233 stocks that they averaged and calculated once a week. Now picture people doing that physically with adding pads and calculator. Well, it wasn't calculators, it was 10 key or more adding machines. Then after that, in 1941, the Standard Statistics Company merged with Mr. Poor's company. His heirs merged it, and it became the Standard & Poor's Company. In 1957, what was happening? Well, computers were happening. So they developed the ability to calculate an index of 500 of the largest stocks in the United States. They're selected by a committee, and for liquidity, it really isn't a question of quality at all. It's just size and liquidity. These 500 stocks, it's a very interesting thing because it's capitalization weighted, and it changes percentages as the stock grows or decreases in size. In other words, as a stock gets bigger and bigger in terms of its market cap, as a company's stock gets bigger, it grows as a percentage of the index. So right now you've got the 9 largest stocks in the United States are occupying about 33% of the index. So it really isn't, in terms of its effect on measuring the stock market, it really measures stock market momentum. It isn't really a pure index. In 1976, Vanguard Company under John Bogle introduced the ability, thank you computers, technology, introduced the ability to invest in the Standard & Poor's 500. Previously, it was just an index. Now, off to the races we go. After that, many investments have been created that mirror the S&P 500. And here, take a look at this graph. It's been really something. As you can see, it's been an absolutely superb investment. As an index, it might be a bit optimistic and flawed, but it's been absolutely superb. There's something to keep in mind here, though. It doesn't measure quality. It doesn't measure valuation. It doesn't measure governance. All it measures is size and growth. So it tends to boom. It goes on decade and multi-decade long booms, and then it tends to go down with extreme enthusiasm just as much as when it came up, because it's really measuring investment and investor enthusiasm. So right now, this is the first of 2 videos. I'm going to talk about some of the dangers of investing in the S&P 500. It's a very risky investment. Let's get that out on the table. But it's also been a very, very successful investment over the long term. Right now, it's overvalued, but since it is tailor-made for an era of stock buybacks, cheap interest rates, and Fed stimulus, I am not rebalancing in trusts. I am rebalancing in IRAs, but we're going to ride this tiger. Call me if you have any questions at all about whether or not we should be rebalancing your S&P 500 index funds in your portfolio. Next time I'll discuss risk. Thank you very much. And now I'm going back to the 1860s.